Roman Catholic Broadcasting Network. We interrupt your day to bring breaking news from Jerusalem. After a glorious battle, we have finally reclaimed the Holy Land of Jerusalem from the Muslims. It was a gruesome battle where many Muslim and Christian soldiers died, but we were able to conserve our army and conquer the city. Overall, even though we lost many of our soldiers, we have finally reclaimed our land after many years.
It all started on November 27th, 1095, when Pope Urban II appealed for an expedition to reclaim the Holy Land of Jerusalem. The official battle had started on August 15th, 1096. We all met in Constantinople in 1096. Although the Christian military was ready to fight, and we were very confident, they underestimated the Muslim army's power and lost 5 Christian armies. When 3 of them weren't able to make it out of Hungary, and 2 other armies were killed by Kilij Arslan of Nicaea, at this point, the other armies began to lose hope, but we stayed strong and ordered many people to join us.
So, what was the battle like? How did you feel when you won?
Great. I felt like I finally accomplished something. We were able to fulfill the Pope's orders, and we've been trying to get back to the city for so many years, so it was just a great experience for all of us to finally reclaim the city that the Muslims had so unrightfully taken from us.
How many people do you think were killed?
I really don't know. There was bodies falling left and right when I was sacking the city with everyone else, and I could tell that some of them, many of them, were Muslim, but there were also a couple of Christians from the crusade as well.
Why did the Pope request for you to start the first crusade?
The Pope told us of the horrible crimes that the Muslims had committed against our people when they sacked the city in 638. And he wanted to get revenge, but more importantly, he just wanted us to reclaim the holy city of Jerusalem.
Who is your leader, and what did he tell you to do?
Our leader was in the way of the Pope, Urban II. He gave us the motivation, myself and others, to join the crusade in the first place. But along the way, the Pope was not leading us. Peter the Hermit was actually leading us.
Did you encounter any troubles on your way to Jerusalem?
When we left, we were forced to take from others along the way, but it was all for a good cause because we had to sack the holy city and take it back.
Thanks for your time. Back to the news.
For those of you tuning in, Jerusalem was just taken back by our very own People's Crusade. According to recent reports, after various internal struggles over control of Antioch, the Crusaders began their march toward Jerusalem, then occupied Egyptian Fatimids, who as Shiite Muslims were enemies of the Sunni Seljuks. Encamping before Jerusalem in June 1099, the Christians forced the besieged city's governor to surrender by mid-July. We have received several illustrations in the last month depicting specific times within the First Crusade. The first illustration we received seems to be of the Crusaders themselves after having sacked the city of Jerusalem. The man from our interview talked briefly of how accomplished they felt after fulfilling the Pope's request, which is obvious in this illustration as they are looking up to God out of joy. Although there are bodies littered everywhere, they are similarly Muslims who perished during the battle. The second illustration we received seems to show Peter the Hermit, who the man in the interview also talked about as being the leader of the People's Crusade, on their way to Jerusalem. The third and final illustration appears to be Pope Urban II himself, when he brought up the idea of taking back our holy city of Jerusalem. As the man from the interview told us, it was the Pope's speech that allowed us to rally and take back the city from the Muslims.